Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 5:30 News on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Jay Cohn.
And I'm Jeanelle Slade. The Trump administration takes its first steps to dismantle President Obama's Clean Power Plan.
EPA Administrator Scott Pruitt says he'll begin the process this week to roll back the Obama-era rules to curb carbon emissions.
President Trump following through on his campaign promise to do away with the controversial Clean Power Plan, but the legal battle may just be starting.
EPA Administrator Scott Pruitt says he plans to sign a proposed rule tomorrow, the first of several steps his agency will have to take. It turns out that proposing a rule to undo regulation takes the same time-consuming, legally defensible process that was used to adopt the controversial rule in the first place. But Clean Power Plan supporters vow that this is just the beginning of the battle. David Donger with the Natural Resources Defense Council says the EPA must still hold hearings and take public comment and issue a final repeal. He says the agency will have to respond to all legal, scientific, and economic objections raised.
24 states, including Montana and Wyoming, sued the federal government 2 years ago, challenging the plan. The plan targets coal-fired power plants that account for nearly 40% of U.S. carbon dioxide emissions. But the entire issue has been tied up in the courts under a Supreme Court stay put in place after that legal challenge. Obama officials touted the Clean Power Plan as key to protecting public health, given the dangerous air pollutants and carbon emissions. Environmental Defense Fund President Fred Krupp calls the repeal effort, quote, a reckless retreat that will hurt our children and grandchildren.
But EPA officials vow the repeal effort will be conducted in a robust, open, and transparent way. Spokesman Liz Bowman says any rule proposed by the Trump administration will be done, quote, carefully and properly within the confines of the law.
In announcing his intentions over the weekend, Director Pruitt criticized the Obama administration for using the EPA to pick winners and losers on how we generate electricity in this country.
Nearly 1 week since the season's first winter snowstorm buried part of Montana's High Line with about 2 feet of snow, 265 customers remain without service tonight. Northwestern Energy spokesman Butch Larkham says those without service are scattered from Havre east to Malta. Take a closer look. The largest concentration of those without power are in Chinook, Zurich, Harlem, Fort Belknap, Savoy, Dodson, and Wagner. Larkham points out many of those without service are not homes, but rather irrigation pumps, corrals, and other electric users who are the company's lowest priority. Now, the biggest impact from the storm, 360 power poles that snapped under the weight of the snow. Larkham says 190 of those poles have been repaired, but he says crews still have 170 to go. He says crews have been essentially repairing and replacing significant chunks of Northwestern's electrical system that serves that largely rural area.
A Billings woman suffered life-threatening injuries after a single vehicle crash early this morning. Billings police say the 21-year-old woman crashed on the 2900 block of Montana Avenue about 1:30 a.m. When officers arrived on scene, a passerby had stopped and was providing CPR to the woman who was unconscious. Police say she was transported to a Billings hospital in critical condition. Billings police say it appeared the driver had crashed into a parked car. Police found open alcohol containers in her vehicle. The crash is still under investigation.
Federal prosecutors say $85,000 in suspected drug funds that were confiscated from a vehicle passing through Glendive in May should be forfeited. That motion filed recently in U.S. District Court here in Billings. The money was confiscated from a Cadillac that had been stopped for speeding in Dawson County. While Montana troopers did not find any drugs in the car, the two occupants were caught weeks later in the state of Pennsylvania with more than 70 bags of marijuana. In Glendive, the female passenger told the trooper that the pair were headed to Seattle from Chicago to visit friends. The male driver did not speak English. The pair said the amount of cash they were carrying was to purchase a home. A news report in Pennsylvania says the suspects there were charged with possession of dangerous drugs and are held on a $1 million bond.
State District Judge Russell Fagg of Billings says he will make an announcement this Saturday regarding Montana's U.S. Senate race. Fagg, a Republican, says he plans to unveil the results of his exploratory committee that's been looking into a possible 2018 run against Democratic Senator Jon Tester. Fagg has raised money, traveled the state, and met with voters to talk about whether he can beat Tester next year. However, he's insisted so far that he hasn't decided whether to become a candidate. Fegg is stepping down from his judge position this week. If he decides to run for the U.S. Senate, he'd become the 6th Republican officially in the race. Tester is running for a 3rd consecutive term and already has raised close to $8 million in campaign funds. The Republican primary to choose Tester's GOP opponent is next June.
The Laurel School District will look to taxpayers to help with growth that's expected in the city over the next 5 years.
But the bond will be a big ask. Now, the master plan is vast and includes creating a new 3rd through 5th grade elementary school. West School would be remodeled and shift to K through 2nd grade. South School in Laurel becomes the Laurel High School Career and Technical Campus.
And the middle school would be shifting to serve 6th through 8th grades, while the high school would be remodeled with additional space. Finally, the Graff School would become the new district office and community building. The current administration building in Laurel would be sold.
The $52.5 million proposed project would be funded with the general obligation bonds. For example, residents with a $100,000 taxable value home would pay an annual $125 for both the elementary and high school bonds.
Laurel School officials will present the master plan and the goals to the public at a meeting tonight set for 6 o'clock at the boardroom on Colorado Avenue. If you recall, just this past May, Laurel residents overwhelmingly defeated a pair of levies for both the elementary and the high school. Onto the weather scene, we're keeping a close eye on the destructive fires burning in California, where the efforts to fight those fires, Bob, really hampered by incredibly strong winds.
Yeah, they call them the Santa Ana winds, and we know so far 1 person is dead. 20,000 others have either been evacuated or fled their homes in California's wine country, and it also goes as far south as Anaheim. Let me show you the pictures we got. This is what we had today from Anaheim. 5-acre fire there went to 2,500 acres in a hurry, and so far like 110,000 people are without power tonight. 1,500 homes and businesses have been destroyed, so it's just a mess down there, and it all caused by this, Santa Ana winds. Let me show you what those are. You can see it starts with a high pressure cell moving into the Great Basin area, and then the circulation around the high is clockwise, so some of that wind comes off that high and moves it right on in towards Southern California today, and that's what it's been doing as well. Also, when it started moving into Northern California. The whole thing is lifted on down and went on to Southern California. But at the other end of the spectrum is also the Chinook winds. That high pressure cell also causes Chinook winds in Montana, where we actually warm up and it kind of eats the snow in our region. Anyway, our forecast is warming up a little bit, and we'll have more on that coming up in a few more minutes.
All right, thank you, Bob.
Well, today we officially entered the next phase of the MTN Montana Wildfire Relief Fund.
Now, the grant application process is officially open now. Over the past month, with help from people in Montana and across the country, we've raised more than $424,000. The fund is a partnership between the Montana Television Network and the Montana Community Foundation. MTN and our parent company, Cordillera Communications, matched the first $50,000 that was raised. Organizations, groups, and individuals who think they may qualify for a grant are welcome to apply. Applications accepted through the 10th of November.
A panel of fire experts, Montana Community Foundation representatives, and MTN staff will distribute funds based on need and relevance. Rural volunteer fire departments are highly encouraged to apply.
Those first responders are in pretty serious need of the money for equipment upgrades, training, all kinds of things. And so those are really probably going to be our main focus for grant making.
And donations are still being accepted. You can find the link on ktvq.com.
Well, still to come on tonight's 5:30 News, here's a few accomplishments for our state that you can certainly raise a glass to. We'll check them out coming up.
And later in sports, Scott has a heartwarming football story from White Sulphur Springs.
You're watching MTN News with Jay Cohn and Jeanelle Slade. Storm Tracker weather with Bob McGuire. And sports with Scott Green.